Welcome back to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today at the Forest of Arden Golf Club. Today's video is going to be about how a simple exercise can really show you where your pressure is in your feet from heels to toes and how that's going to improve your golf swing. Stay tuned to find out more. As mentioned, today's video is going to be showing you how a real simple exercise using a broomstick or something similar under your feet is really going to give you the sensation of where your pressure is from heels to toes. And I'm going to talk you through my preference with that and how this is going to improve your golf swing. So what I've got here is actually an aim point swing key, but it's a similar size to a broomstick. I use this mainly on the putting greens, so it's a string line, how many inches left, how many inches right. But you can use this a number of different ways. As I said, this is a similar size to a broomstick. You could potentially put a couple of clubs on the floor, but I would have thought a broomstick or a mop handle or something along those lines is going to work really well. And this is actually going to go through the arch of your shoes. So if I just pop this on the floor here, it's going to go through the arch of your feet here. Now, if all your pressure is into your heels, your toes would be lifted. If all your pressure is into your toes, your heels would be lifted. If we were sort of quite well balanced here, we're trying to get the feeling that we can sort of balance between heels and toes quite easily in the golf swing. So I'm going to talk you through my preference here quickly, and then we're going to go into actually hitting a couple. Now I'm showing this with a driver, but this is relevant with any golf club. I mentioned in a video just filmed that I get a question often, you know, is this the same with an iron and a driver? For me, very much so. You know, all we're really changing between different clubs is ball position, potentially where our pressure starts from trail foot to lead foot, but we're not really changing too much from toes to heels. So what I'd like to see at setup position is my weight very well balanced from toes to heels, so feeling very much 50-50. And this video was really inspired from doing some work with a body track system that I own, and I have got some videos coming very soon on that. And it's just looking at a number of golfers where I see where their pressure is, and I see too many at setup who are favouring into their toes. So it's trying to get that very equal position here. Now, if we had someone who had too much pressure towards their toes in the backswing, we tend to see the club work more away from them and potentially a steeper backswing. If you get someone who is too much into the heels, the club tends to be drawn around your body. So the club will tend to try and follow your center of pressure. So if your pressure is actually moving back into your heels, the club will be wanting to work that way. Often there's a compensation. So golfers who get drawn too much into their heels on the backswing will often then shift towards their toes on the downswing, and we see this very common figure of eight movement, this out to in golf swing. But I'm going to talk you through my preference throughout the whole golf swing. So I want to start very even 50-50. So you even without this here, if you just sort of rock back heels and toes to try and feel that very even position, that would work well. So once you've got that, we're trying to make a backswing. Now our pressure is moving from our lead foot into our trail foot. So we're starting with a driver potentially 55% on our back foot, whereas the opposite would be true with an iron. I'd want to be a little bit more 55% of our pressure onto our lead leg. So our pressure will be moving towards my trail foot, but I want it to move towards the middle of the foot. So I don't want to be back into my heel where my toe will be lifted, and I don't want to be too much towards my toes where my heels are up in the floor. So I want to make a backswing and still stay very even from heel to toe, so I can feel like I can flick back and forth between them, so it feels very even through the middle of my foot here. We're trying to, on the downswing, then shift our pressure gradually. We don't want it all at once. So I've just filmed a video about that with a bucket between my knees, just trying to get that being a little bit more gradual as a shift towards our lead leg. But we definitely want it moving towards our lead leg, but again, we want it through the middle of the foot. So when we look at the pressure force on a body track system, it will move towards the center of the trail foot, towards the center of the lead foot, and then what we really want to see is into our lead heel by the time we get to impact and just post impact here. So I want to start very even, make a backswing still staying very even, downswing the pressure is moving towards my lead leg, but again still through the middle of my foot, till I get to the point where I'm around pocket height, hip height on the downswing. And now as I start rotating my torso, my hips more, I'm feeling the pressure more into my lead heel here. So I can really get that sensation of pressure's lead heel and my body is really opening up. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually set up with this one. Yeah, I had it in about the right place there. So my pressure feels very equal between my feet. I'm just going to make a nice slow swing, maybe a little bit too far away from that ball. So it's a little bit more awkward trying to get your distance, but once you've got it, you're fine there. So that's my even point here. I want to make my backswing, still staying even, pressure moving towards my lead leg and now into my lead heel, where you can see my toe is actually more up in the air here because my pressure is into my lead side as I really start to rotate. Let me just go ahead and see if I can make a real nice slow swing doing that. So try and get that even, just move back a little bit. Try and get that very even position to start with. And you can see toe is up in the air, really feel like I'm turning into that lead side, that lead heel here, rotating through. Just some nice slow pace swings, nothing with too much force here. Just definitely doing it slowly when we're practicing with the broomstick under our heels. I think if you do it too quickly, you are going to hurt something. So just try and do some nice slow pace swings, again feeling very even in the backswing, but moving into that lead heel on the way down here, so I can really get that sensation of what I'm trying to achieve. It's a great exercise if it's something you struggle with, and I see a lot of golfers struggling with it. Give it a go. I know it's going to help your golf swing. If your center of pressure is better, the swing plane will take care of itself. That is the line the club is swinging up on and down on. If that video does help, make sure you give us a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel as well. It's the best way to stay in contact and show your support for the channel. New videos every Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30. Thanks guys, we'll see you soon.